I'm Betty Wagner, and we are in my garden in eastern Wake County this morning to talk about pollinator plants and pollinators. One of the questions that I get is how did I get interested in pollinator plants? And although I've always been a gardener, mostly I did vegetable gardening and just pretty flowers. Several years ago, I went through the Master Gardener training here in Wake County, and part of that process is learning about a lot of different aspects of gardening, and one of them being pollinators and pollinator plants. So first off, a pollinator plant is simply a plant that is a sexual plant. It needs something to move the pollen from the male to the female plant, and pollinators do that. There's a wide range of pollinators, from bees to butterflies, dragonflies, ants, anything that will move the pollen. Any plant that needs to be pollinated typically will have some way of attracting pollinators to it. A couple of those ways are, one is just the structure of the plant. If it's attracting hummingbirds, it may be deep-throated, so the hummingbird can reach the pollen and the nectar inside the plant. If it's attracting butterflies, it may be a wider, more open plant that the butterflies can land on. So we're going to talk later about specific plants, but some of the more common ones that's easy to grow, most people can grow them, sometimes even in containers. Sunflowers, the helianthus, and there's a wide variety of helianthus. The rutabacia is your black-eyed Susans, your brown-eyed Susans. Echinacea, your purple coneflower, easy to grow. Perennials come back every year, and your bee balm is another great pollinator plant. So we're looking at Monarda or bee balm, and if you notice, you probably can't see it certainly from this angle, but a lot of my plants are in these large plastic rings, and that's because they grow too well in our area, in our climate, and so they can get a little be a bit of a bully. They will not always stay exactly where you want them. This is a beautiful plant. It will grow and keep blooming throughout the summer, and it attracts hummingbirds, butterflies, and a wide assortment of bees, particularly a lot of the native bumblebees, easy to grow. So these are some black-eyed Susans that there's some varieties that are not in full bloom yet. Well, actually, there's one down there that is a perennial. Otherwise, most of these are from seeds, and they have reseeded from previous years. The other thing we don't think about a lot with pollinator plants are herbs. There are a lot of herbs that bloom, and the pollinators love them. Rosemary, thyme, oregano, even basil, good producers of nectar or pollen for the pollinator plants. Black and blue salvia. All of the salvias are great pollinator plants, and there's a huge variety, both perennial and annual. I saw a hummingbird on this one this morning. So the hummingbirds, they're nice and tubular for the hummingbirds. And then there's a pink greggii behind it that I will also see the hummingbirds as well as bees quite frequently. This is a Texas star. Not originally native to North Carolina, it's a native of Texas, but it's kind of moved across the southern states, and we've planted it enough in North Carolina at this point that we're sort of considering it like a native plant, but it's an absolutely gorgeous plant in the garden. Beside it are, of course, coneflowers. These are a little bit faded, but this is a purple coneflower, easy to grow, great pollinator plant. There's a spider plant beside it. This has a lot of seed pods on it, so it is an annual, but it reseeds. The purple plant, the long spiky plant, is liatris, also called gay feathers. A lot of butterflies, insects of all kinds like this. And there is a native version. There's some different varieties of the liatris. So I have both, some native and then some other varieties as well. It's called a Mexican sunflower. It will get quite tall. It will keep growing through the season, but butterflies as well as bees absolutely love it. It will reseed, or you can save the seeds at the end of the year and plant them the following year. The helianthus, or sunflower, everybody loves sunflowers. They are gorgeous, and everybody in nature loves them as well. The butterflies, all sorts of bees, including honeybees. The one you're looking at, unfortunately, we had a storm yesterday, and so some of it is broken. But when the seeds begin to develop, the birds eat them. Not just, we tend to think of the goldfinch as eating them, but all sorts, including the cardinals, some of the finches, all sorts of birds will eat the seeds before they even ripen. This is another Monarda, a different colored bee balm. There are different varieties. Don't see a lot of activity on it right now, but the sun's not fully on it, so some more probably will show up. Behind it is, and there are a couple of bees on the coneflowers. Coneflowers, or echinacea, are very easy to grow. They are a perennial, which means they come back year after year. They can be grown in containers. If you have a small yard or just containers for plants, they're a great plant to start with. Behind me is a Rose of Sharon. This, you can see again, is a favorite of the bees. One of them tried to land on me. While he's doing that, we tend to think, when we think of bees and pollinators, of honeybees. And honeybees are very, very important commercially, as well as we all love honey. What is doing the majority of pollinating in our gardens are native bees. And North Carolina has over 500 varieties, species of native bees. So we need to be encouraging them. Don't be afraid of them. Most of them are not aggressive at all. They're just wanting to find shelter and food and water and somewhere to protect their young. They are not looking to hurt you. So please don't feel like you need to destroy them. Next is a native plant. It's called a buttonbush. It's truly not a bush, it's a small tree, but it attracts, again, everything from butterflies. This morning we have a lot of eastern tiger swallowtails. I think there may be some black swallowtails. Usually there's some silver streaks, there's one, as well as a wide variety of bees. Not very many honeybees seem to be out this morning. Maybe the sun's not up quite enough yet, but typically there'll be some honeybees around as well. I think that's a black swallowtail. I'm a little far away, but I think that's a black swallowtail, and looks like there's a bee trying to share the flower with him. Those are the flowers of the buttonbush, the round white balls. And then, of course, the darker ones are the ones that have already bloomed. So this is orange butterfly weed with a bumblebee on it. We associate the milkweeds with the monarch butterfly, but actually a lot of different butterflies, as well as bees, like the flowers of the milkweed. And of course, the milkweed is the only plant, it's the only host plant for the monarch butterflies, which is part of why we have such a decline, is as we lose our large strands of native milkweeds, there's less food for the caterpillars of the monarchs. Of course, the butterfly bushes are a favorite of not only butterflies, but hummingbirds and a wide variety of bees, and even some birds. And there is a wide variety of birds in my yard, because part of the goal is to have a very diverse ecosystem, which is a healthy ecosystem. Everything from a soil that's alive to birds, bees, butterflies, to complete the whole circle